Well, small preface. I'm not obsessed with monetization, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm in a very difficult spot at the very moment. It is not good. I've really resisted trying to do any GoFundMe's, but you know, it's reaching a difficult place, and I have to make a lot of tough decisions short term. But anyway, so let me just plug the other channels very quickly. Please give the Kubrick channel a chance, and please give the other channel a chance. I will be uploading things shortly. No, seriously, I got things recorded. I just got to edit them. All right, well, let me not bury the lead. Let us get right brutally to it. Aaron did a live stream, and he's been doing this pretty regularly. And Nora, comes up here and there, but the most recent one, again, he may have the new one. So I'm talking about the one where he had which I didn't appreciate because I do like Andor. Andor is a very good Star Wars series. We had Miscavige looking like Krennic, and I'm like, why? I mean, Krennic's not small. Anyway, it just didn't make sense. But anyway, has him next to a Tom Cruise cutout. The videos have sort of been all over the place. Some are very popular, some get a lot of views, some do not. So for the one, we'll call it the Krennic video. There's a nice opening. So, and again, I'm trying to be as direct quote as possible. This is what Aaron said, and I would appreciate to be able to do clips of him so you can see it for yourself, but he keeps striking the channel, so it is what it is. I will probably try to do a few clips and just put it on Rumble or Bitchute or somewhere just to prove like he actually did say these things, because it's pretty damn shocking, and I don't want to be accused like, oh, you just made that up. I don't get things right. No, he did say these things. I don't know if he's going to take down the video. So this is a direct quote from the video I have, and I've listened to this several times. So let me be as precise as possible. So he starts off saying, we are going to move forward and sue Nora. He continues, he has someone looking at Nora's transcripts. Every single one of her videos, I'm going through, this is Aaron speaking for herself, I'm going through the entire transcript of every video loaded to her channel. And here I'm going to paraphrase. He's going to isolate every use of the word fraud relating to the SPT Foundation. And he's going to then file a lawsuit, but he's going to go through the transcripts first. And he says he's doing it with someone else too, so he's got a whole team on this. He continues, that's what we're going to do. We are going to sue her. That may be a little bit of a paraphrase. I want to be as precise as possible. So that's interesting. He's saying we. So does this mean he and Jenna, he and the SPT Foundation collectively? So that means Natalie and George and Jenna are going to be parties of the lawsuit? Don't know. He didn't clarify. Gonna shut her the F up. We're gonna shut her the F up for good. She can't control herself, so I guess someone has to do it for her. And just to prove I did see the video, not just the audio, I don't know why he keeps doing this. He puts his camera looking at the Tom Cruise cutout. It's like, honk if Scientology's a cult, etc. This is on literally near Fort Harrison, so I assume this is the Fort Harrison location. In Clearwater, right, they're actually there. And he's surrounded by some other people, including Farrell Sherrill's there. Apparently, George is on vacation, or he's not there. And there we are. Okay, so that is probably his direct quotation. I do want to get the build-up, though, because he was mentioning that the stream they did together, because some people are going to be definitely confused, because one of the bigger videos that he's done recently is where he and Nora did sit down for 4+ hours, from my memory, and there were a few rough spots where they were yelling at one another. However, for the most part, and this is what got Nora in trouble, she was giggling and having a good old time, and they were recalling their good old days with the Sea Org, etc., etc., etc. Oh, memories. So that really created a backlash for Nora. Aaron is right that she changed her position, which is what Nora does. However, she didn't back down initially. The way I remember it, she did this crying fit video where she was outraged at getting all this criticism. And some of it was pretty harsh. They were talking about wife and family, and I do think that was over the line. However, they did have legit criticisms the way she was framing Aaron as this narcissistic abuser, which she keeps saying over and over, and she's back to saying it. So it's like, well, why would you contact him? The whole point, again, this is from Nora's perspective, her understanding of narcissistic abuse. You should stay away from this person, just get away from the person, but instead you contacted and you had a conversation. So it was very confusing. And let me just note, two things. One is that Aaron gets really riled up if you ever mention Heather, his wife. Now, that might seem like uncontroversial, like even mentioning his wife. The problem is Aaron actively has other sexual romantic relationships, which are public. Multiple. He literally has multiple affairs while still being technically married to Heather. So that's like very strange, but that is how they're doing things. And he gets really angry if people even bring up Heather. Here he's explicitly bringing up Nora's wife and saying, yeah, Nora's wife and her mods are controlling Nora. And that Nora can't control Nora. And she's lost because she has no real independent mind. She's just bowing to the wishes of the wife and the mods. Well, again, that just does not reflect the videos I've seen. It seems like Nora did admit her family as well as the moderators were really outraged at what she did and did not agree with her. So she had a back and forth with them. Granted, she did move to their position. It wasn't just she just had no mind or no brain. I mean, I can say many things about Nora, but she does make her own choices. Granted, her choices are mostly silly and stupid, and her latest defense of DOA is not very good, but she does get a few things right. Like, she did get Helicopter right. She's getting a lot right with Helicopter. Even if you do like Helicopter, Nora has exposed her as a fraud. There's simply no doubt she's lying and being very deceptive. But that said, I mean, there is a lot going on here. So let me get to the second point, which I think is even more devastating because for several years, it's not even months or weeks, for several years, Aaron has maintained, guys, there's no organization. I'm not a leader. No. There's no organization. No, it's just me. I'm on my channel. These channels do what they do. He's now literally stating as a fact that we, the collective we, are going to shut down Nora. Who is we? Is we you and Jenna, you and Serge and Jenna, you, George, Natalie, Serge, Jenna together? Is this going to be a class lawsuit? Is it going to be a collective thing? It seems to be the SPT Foundation, but Serge left the SPT Foundation. Is it going to be what in the affidavit? What? This is like insane that several years ago when he had the big break with Mike Rinder, he's like, no, guys, no. I'm just doing videos. I'm clarifying Mike Rinder's lies. That's fair. He can do that on his channel. And he's like, there's no organization. I'm not a leader. No. Even though he became president of his own foundation. He's like, no, I'm not a leader. Now he's just stating as a fact he will do a lawsuit with other people. He's getting a whole team together to go through Nora's channel and the transcripts of the channel. I will say also, is he misspeaking when he says, I am going to go through the transcript? Is he saying the person he hired is going to be doing the transcript? And I want to be very clear. I'm not saying the SPT is even using money. I would assume it's going to be Farrell Sherrill or George Macy or even Marilyn. Like, they're going to do the propaganda work and go through the videos. I mean, Aaron has many things. And he is sometimes, I want to be clear, he is sometimes very productive. He does put a lot of work in here and there, but he is also insanely lazy and incredibly cheap. The guy is just will not hand over money unless he absolutely has to. So I would assume a lot of people are going to do pro bono work to go through Nora's transcripts and find all these alleged instances where she's slandering Aaron. And I'm like, listen, I'm very critical of Nora. I've fact-checked Nora many times. She does lie. She gets many things wrong. However, some of the things she says about Aaron are true. Some of the things she says about Helicopter are true. So what does he mean by slander? I don't think he understands what slander is. Slander would be, which I'm not going to do, but hypothetically, if I accused Aaron of doing something to his daughters in a inappropriate fashion, we got to be very careful with YouTube. If I put that out as a serious allegation, that is slander, unless I have direct proof that Aaron is doing something inappropriate to his daughters. I cannot state that. I can't even state that as opinion. That is not protected on YouTube. That is not protected even by first speech. It's not the First Amendment. If you make really genuine slanderous charges that, this is a person is a Nazi, or this person is whatever, like a criminal of this kind, if you're charging them directly saying, yes, I'm standing as a fact, they are this, they are that, you can be sued. You can be sued and your videos can be removed. Your channel would be in danger. So even as a joke, you don't do that. You just cannot. There are limits, very strong limits on your speech. You have to be very careful. But I don't know his understanding of slander regarding his, frankly, not very real foundation or charity. I mean, Jenna, let me be very quick, put out a video where she cited a testimony of one recipient. Is this even true? Does this person even exist? How is Aaron going to verify he's handing out the money, and he's handing out the money in a legitimate way? Because, frankly, what they're revealing, what Nora revealed, is that you're kind of doing a payout system. It's kind of a mafia system. He's helping his friends and family through the foundation, and you're like, well, influence peddling is a serious problem, even with charities. So I'm not so sure Aaron understands how slander or the First Amendment or, frankly, charities work, because many charities would look at what he's doing and say, this is really iffy behavior. We can call it fraud. We can call it questionable activities by a public institution or whatever the lingo is, but it's not technically slander to question a charity if we have good reasons to believe the charity is not doing what a charity is supposed to do. Now, of course, we have to step back as we finish the video. Listen, Aaron is on YouTube primarily to make money. Like, I am on YouTube primarily to make money. And like I said, YouTube is weird with these things. I mean, listen, if these videos could be flagged, probably Aaron would already do it. So I don't know how much of this is real. Is Aaron being rhetorical? I don't think so. He seemed genuinely angry because he was talking about Nora at the beginning of that video. He was really angry. When he revisited Nora, he was still angry. So he seems genuinely angry at what Nora's up to. But I will just close by saying I think this is a little bit phony. I'm sure he does not like what Nora's saying about the SPD Foundation. I think he's being genuine. He's genuinely outraged. However, let's be clear. This is really about DOA. Is the fact that Nora's defending DOA and vindicating him in some cases. Now, I think her support is questionable because DOA is questionable, and we should question people who do questionable things. However, she does have a right to do it. So we can't silence her that way, right? You can't just stop her from doing that. So this seems to me a very, frankly, Stalinistic, and I'm going to say it, Nazi trick, right? You can't really attack the person on the main subject. So you're going to try to find a way to shut them down from another subject. And I grant, Nora has put out some lies about the SPD Foundation. She has spoken very loosely. She shouldn't do that, but it seems to me that's what he's doing. He's trying to threaten her free speech rights regarding DOA, but he can't do that because that is protected. I mean, there's really nothing he can do there. He can just say, this is not real professional legal commentary, which is what I've said, therefore don't trust it. And he could hire a lawyer to show that, right? He could hire legal professionals to show that, yeah, she does not have good understanding of the law. However, as opinion, she can state these things. As long as she herself states, this is not a professional legal person saying these things, I don't see the problem. I don't think YouTube would have a problem either. So he's trying to shut down all the support for DOA, but he can't do it directly, so he's going to try to find all these tricks to find a way to basically intimidate people. I think this is very alarming on so many levels. For one thing, it completely shows he's a liar for the last couple of years, but also, too, is like, what kind of foundation does this where critics are getting sued and intimidated? You know what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like? It sounds a lot like the L. Ron Hubbard church he allegedly is fighting. But apparently he's fighting the LRH Miscavige church, but he's not fighting his own cultist church.